Hey, welcome to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for Gemini. Know that energy is fluid, so roles can be reversed, flip it, switch it, twist it. Just interpret the message best as it resonates for you. Also know that I could be talking about something that did happen, is happening in the present moment, or will happen in the future. Don't just disregard what I say if it's something that has already happened. Try to look and see how that's influencing what's happening in your present moment, or see how it can influence a situation in your future. Because if you're seeing that it's going to influence your situation, you have time now to change it. That's why we're given the intuitive insight to avoid certain karmic situations, to again create better outcomes essentially for ourselves. We all have the power to shape shift. Healing is all about seeing our life from a different perception. We're down here in physical form to learn and to manifest. And part of learning is realizing that we're not separate from source. Source is unconditional love. So anywhere where we feel that there's a block, there's trauma, there's a shadow. There's a shadow that keeps us detached from ourselves. There's a part of ourselves that we've rejected. There's a part of ourselves that we believe can't have. There's a part of ourselves that isn't what source made. That it's a part that we have made through a distorted perception due to an experience that we went through. And no greater experience than a soulmate twin flame relationship that will tell us about what traumas we've been through, what we need to heal, and why we need to heal. Because our relationships are a reflection of how we conduct our life, our outside life, right? If we have bad character and we're not treating the people in our life with the highest respect, then we're not really treating ourselves with that respect. And so if we're putting time into surface relationships and not really being fully present, and really, when I say really present, it means that we don't have intimacy issues, we don't have problems expressing how we feel emotionally, we don't create problems within our relationship, then a lot of times when we see that we don't have problems within our outside world life experiences, but we do know that people that have problems in their relationships, a lot of times they have a lot of problems within their life experiences. So spiritual wounds turn into spiritual gifts. So the whole point of this channel is to realize that we're always learning. Healing, again, is learning to see yourself differently, learning to see a situation differently, and being able to integrate the spiritual lesson, which is first we understand what the lesson is, why we're going through it, what the karmic theme was, will tell you that, and how and what needs to happen in order to transcend the situation, and whether or not a soulmate twin flame relationship is meant to stay together or whether it's not. I mean, sometimes soulmate twin flame relationships are not meant to be. We don't, unless that person's on the same vibration, unless they have the same type of soul path, unless they have the same mission, then a lot of times they're not. They're in your life for a limited amount of time, and usually to teach. All right. First card out that fell. Let's see. Be bold and take action. So I believe that your person knows that they need to be bold and take action. I feel like, though, Gemini, sometimes you're like, I would need to be bold and take action. You need to be bold and take action because nothing is happening. And the silence and the fact that nothing is happening is making you want to, again, rise up and take action. But I believe that there's a little bit of mirroring energy because there's been a long time you and your person have been in separation. So both parties are like it's almost like playing chicken. And now you went from both playing chicken to being like, I'm not going to cave, to both of you being like, I want to be bold and take action. I want to know what's going on, because you both are kind of like uncomfortable in this position of having strong feelings, but then being in separation. Live in the moment. So I believe also that, Gemini, that you're kind of obsessing about the situation. It's again like knowing that you need to like take action, but you're thinking about what your person is going to say, what they're going to do, because maybe again, I feel like for some of you guys, you didn't know what you wanted. You didn't know what you wanted. And so you weren't really fair to your person. You weren't nice to your person. I feel like you ghosted. Some of you guys ghosted your person. And so because of your past behavior, it's preventing you from moving forward. You're also thinking about, again, how being in this connection is going to influence your life. Again, not being in the moment. And because it's, again, why this is bad is I feel like there's been a lot of trauma around this relationship already. If both parties have been in separation and both parties feel so uncomfortable that they both want to be bold to take action. Okay, so holding yourself back and giving it mixed messages would be a problem. And like you'll almost, I feel like, sabotage yourself, because it's almost like you start, you stop, you start, you stop, you want to go, you stop, you keep talking yourself out of it. And so now, like, a lot of time has passed and you're being tortured. So you need to be in the moment, because in the moment you're not reflecting on past experiences that didn't work out, past relationships that didn't work out, past relationships that you didn't like the way that they turned out, which is almost like what's happening. You're getting flooded and overstimulated, and then it's almost like too much. So then you don't move forward. I know that you may not feel for me as I feel for you. So then there's also like this fear of the fact of, because you've both been in separation for so long, does your person really care about you? Does your person really want to be with you? There's anxiety. There's a lot of anxiety here. I lost control of my life. So it's, again, the person didn't really know what they wanted. They didn't treat you right. And part of when they weren't treating you right, they weren't really treating themselves right. I feel like they were running around with a lot of different people. I feel like they were drinking. There was a lot of excessive, compulsive, addictive behavior where they lost control of their life. So, which is bad, because I feel like this person has a hard time living in the moment. I feel like they can have addiction problems, codependency problems. And so being overwhelmed by all this emotion they have for you didn't really make them want to come cuddle up to you. It actually made them want to run the opposite way. Because they have a lot of wounds around love, jealousy, and possessive. I believe that the reason why is because they never really intimately get close, allow people to get close to them. They give a lot of mixed messages. So past relationships, people, again, that they had to deal with, became very possessive and jealous of them. And I also believe that they have a tendency of being also possessive and jealous of people that they like, because again, they're not able to communicate. So in the fact that they are detached emotionally, they're not comfortable in expressing how they feel. They never really make the person feel comfortable. So, and it's all due to their insecurity, which is why they're jealous and possessive. But then they also create that in their relationship as a way of, like, instead of communicating, they can tell whether or not you care about them by how you act. If they make you jealous and they see that you're jealous, they're like, okay, I know that this person still cares about me. It's a very toxic and immature way of going about it. And your person can be like older. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're young. It means that emotionally they are not intelligent. It means emotionally that there's trauma around their past relationships. They didn't want this connection. They lost control of their life because, again, the thought of such a deep connection where they feel like they've lost control, where, again, this person would never go back and be bold and take action and say, oh, forgive me. Or again, they wouldn't be nervous with anybody else. This experience has never happened to them before. And so I feel like they've come to a place, and it's taken them a long time to get to this place of realizing that they really truly have feelings. Again, but they treated you like you were just an option. They treated you like that. And that's what's, again, why they're afraid to come back. Because they know you're going to say something. And there's a chance that you're going to reject them. Because it's like, how dare you treat me like I was an option? I believe that this person kept things so surface. And because you weren't jealous and possessive, the way that they're used to, again, this person's used to going and being with lower fruit, with people that will chase them and give them, even though they're not giving anything. And the fact that you didn't do it, it again triggered them where they were jealous and they wanted to be possessive, and they are not used to feeling that way. So again, they, instead of them opening up more, they acted like you were just an option. Again, trying to convince you that you were not that important, trying to call your bluff, almost again like playing chicken. Like, I don't want to show you how I feel, my cards. I want you to, again, show me your cards, though. I want you to show me. I want you to put my mind at ease. And again, you didn't do that. So now they have to come back and they feel a little sheepish. They feel stupid. I never knew the meaning of true love until you came into my life. Yeah, because they can't walk away. They're like, I cannot walk away from this relationship. And believe me, they want to. Because they don't want, they actually feel like they're the underdog in this relationship, though that's what they have to get, that in real relationships there is nobody that's the underdog and no one that has the upper hand. And your person is very logical, they're very strategic, they're used to, again, being able to control their feelings. So this is a real soulmate twin flame relationship. They've tried to control their feelings, they can't. So they're actually surrendering to them. And that's why they're saying, I never knew love like this before. And the love is unconditional, because understand, them being jealous, them being possessive makes them angry. Them, like, again, acting like you're just an option is, again, shows that they're angry. It's, again, they want things their way. They're possessive. And being that you didn't give it, they're still amazed that they have feelings, because, like I said, they were like, oh, the hell with this at first. I don't want this. Giving me a hard time. You're just an option. I can date whoever. I can get whoever I want. I have a lot of options out here. And what they realized is no one compares. Not replaceable. You're not replaceable. So let's look at the hidden truth oracle. I want you. So there's a lot of passion here, which understand that a lot of times is the fire, right? When we're transmuting wounds, trauma, right? Again, in alchemy, we know that the only energy to transform anything negative is fire. And so when we again have deep seated wounds, and I believe you, Gemini, and your person both are soulmate twin flame. Again, both didn't want a difficult relationship or can't walk away. And there's a tremendous amount of passion, but there's these wounds of abandonment, wounds of betrayal, wounds around, again, not being able to freely express your emotions. Like, I don't believe either one of you ever felt comfortable growing up in your home, like as children. I don't believe that either one of you felt safe to express your emotions. So both of you have very similar wounds, and both of you, again, can be just as stubborn. But you, again, did not do everything to press this person's buttons, or maybe you did. Again, take it as it resonates. But if you were the one that did, you're feeling bad. You're feeling bad. You're saying, oh my God, I really love this person, but I'm so embarrassed to go back to them because again, I have to come back and, surrender my ego a little bit, and I feel stupid. It's again because I acted pretty cocky, like you were replaceable. Gemini, this was you. I don't react when people mention you. Again, it's like I hiding those feelings, hiding those emotions at all costs. This person is very prideful, and it's because they have a lot of trauma around relationships and again, just expressing their emotions. I want to just look at your triggers. Trapped. I felt trapped in this connection with no way out. I couldn't take it anymore. So I feel like, again, a deep connection. And I feel like for you, Gemini, or again, whether or not it's you or your person, I feel like the trapped here is almost like when you have feelings for a person that doesn't show emotion or feeling and plays a lot of games, it's like, but you still have feelings for that person. I feel like Gemini, again, your person felt trapped that they couldn't walk away from you because it's again, there's this deep connection that they automatically knew. I feel like now you feel that connection, but your person felt that connection. You weren't being fair and you weren't being okay. So it's like they felt trapped in being a victim to you. They felt trapped in like being disrespected by you again, and being around someone that, they could feel loved them, but not giving them anything. So they released themselves. So that was their trigger. And I feel like you again have an issue with abandonment, but then what happens is you don't give anything, and then what you create is people that become so obsessive and jealous that they tend to like make you feel trapped because they're not allowing you to have your freedom. Like a relationship isn't about someone owning you, or it's again like feel like every relationship that you've been in like has been surface for you, but the people that you connect with are so codependent that they try to like merge onto your energy, like you and them are one person. And it's again, you don't, maybe at one time that was something that you wanted, but it's like over time it made you feel trapped, and that's your big fear. You're like, I don't want to feel trapped. But the problem is your person's always feeling like they're trapped. They're going into a situation feeling like they're trapped. They're never 100% giving, because the problem is not that they're being trapped in this connection. They were trapped in past connections. Their mindset is again of not being able to let you go and move forward. They feel trapped. I feel like again it's more that the person connected to you because you played a lot of games or again, take it as it resonates, but I'm feeling it's you, Gemini, because you didn't really know what you wanted. Like, again, a lot of times it's not purpose. It's because there's trauma there. So you try to compensate. And in compensating, you overcompensate, and you either show the person nothing, no emotional, or too much. So it's, again, if we are attracting someone that's codependent over time, we're going to feel trapped in a situation, because it means that we're in that relationship, or the person's in the relationship with us for other reasons, not just because, hey, you inspire me, I like the person that you are, I love you. It's, well, you bring a lot to the table. Maybe you, again, go out and make a lot of money and you support me well. Maybe it's, again, you make me look better. I don't know. It's, again, but there's codependency in past relationships, which has made the person feel trapped. So this is why they don't 100% give. That's why they never really came in and gave you. But I feel like you didn't really notice. It's, again, or your person didn't really notice. So they just kept giving. And it was like you formed emotions for this person because of it. But I feel like a lot of times, like, our soulmate twin flame have the same wounds. So I feel like there's abandonment. I feel like both parties weren't able to express their emotions and feelings, and both parties have the fear of being trapped, because both parties grew up with parents that were very dominant and abusive, and where they did not feel safe, they felt trapped. And so what happens is it continues to play out in relationships. Did it happen in this relationship? No. But did your person act like it was happening in this relationship, or were you acting like it was happening in your relationship, Gemini? Yes. Trauma did that. And I believe that even if, Gemini, you were not that person that, again, came in, played games, didn't know what you wanted, if you were on the other side of that, there was still a sense of, again, an imbalance in that relationship. Either you were giving too much to this person that wasn't giving you enough and not recognizing it, or you, again, there was an imbalance, again, that you didn't see, because both parties have the same wounds. They're just being played out differently, but both parties feel abandoned. Both parties weren't allowed to express their emotions. Both parties feel trapped in the relationship. Now, both parties also want to reach out, like, want to be bold and reach out. Both parties got triggered and felt jealousy and possessive because both parties were not acting like the way that the other one wanted them to act. But both parties have this unconditional love. So again, it's a very intense reading, right? Because it's all, like, again, soulmate twin flame relationship, but more from what is the underlying spiritual energies going on here. And what is going on at play is that both parties have this unconditional love, but it's bringing up all their crap. And again, like, the relationship is triggering every wound that they have, making them look at their soul, right? And making them look at the things that aren't working. And they both don't want to walk away, because they're like, I don't want to walk away from this person. But they both, again, in not walking away from their person, it's forcing them to look deep inside of themselves. So again, I'm not saying, Gemini, if you were the person that was doing this, were you doing it purposely? No. I believe, again, this was all subconscious. It's, you just were like, I don't want a deep, committed relationship. I don't know what I want. And I don't know what I want because this is always in the back of my mind. that I'm going to be trapped, that I'm not going to really be able to get out, that I'm going to have to lose my identity. And I don't believe that your person thought that they were doing anything wrong by how they acted either. I think that it's, again, both parties have the same trauma, but they don't react the same way. The unconditional love they both have for each other, you, Gemini, and your person have for each other, is what's making, you both say, well, maybe we can look at this differently. Maybe we can like really dig deep and see what's really happening here. It's not just make it into like a story of what's happened. And that's the beginning of healing. That's the catalyst for healing. What does your person want to tell you? Those cards shouldn't be in this deck. So what does your person want to tell you? What does your person want to tell you? I long for you day and night. I'm confused by my desire for you. Our chemistry is amazing. So it's, again, there's this, again, unconditional love and chemistry. So I think, like I said, the catalyst for your person for healing is all, again, this relationship, for not just for your person, actually for you, Gemini, and your person, because you're both mirroring each other. You both have the same wounds. They're both played out. That's why it's difficult to say who is doing what. Is it you, Gemini, or is it your person? Again, only you're going to be able to determine that. Because, and I'm sure, because this is a general reading, a general message, some Geminis will say, well, it was me, and some will say, no, it was my person. But no, you both have the same wounds. They play out a little bit differently, but the unconditional love is what's actually making you both be like, we have to like figure out how to work this out, because I want you in my life. Even though it logically doesn't make sense, even though it's difficult, because everybody knows the soulmate twin flame relationship is like the most difficult relationship that there is. I'm confused about our relationship. I lie awake at night, stressed about us and if it will work out. So it's, again, they're obsessing, and they're also confused because, again, they've never had such a deep relationship, and also because of everything that they did, and because they're assuming that you're going to react the same way that everyone else has always reacted towards them. So, and because they actually care, where I don't really feel like they've cared so much before. Again, this relationship has shattered their ego, has, again, made them look at themselves a lot differently. It's made them like look at, where am I looking for? It's, again, like they need to live in the moment. They again, it made them want to be bold and take action. It makes them like think that, again, here it is again, that they feel like you're not going to be available for them. So they are nervous. It's not like they're not. But that's the whole thing. They want you. They want you, and they can't walk away from it. There's no denying the chemistry, but they're confused because, again, of the depth of it. But again, doesn't matter. It's like because they've become obsessed about it. Become obsessed. I keep replaying everything that happened between us in my mind. It hurts too much. So it's, again, they realize that they didn't treat you right. So their guilt of not treating you right. And again, so their guilt and their passion is really what I feel brings them back to you. I want to look at the karmic theme. Well, look at the karmic theme between you and this person. Like, what are you supposed to learn from this type of relationship? Is I'm conflicted about whether I have what it takes to be your partner. So understand, again, your person's insecure. They feel bad about what they did. They keep replaying what has transpired between you and them, and but mainly again how they treated you. They're confused and they're stressed out whether or not it's going to work out, but they want this relationship so much. So there's part of they're really conflicted and fighting within themselves. And really what they're fighting about is, can they lay down their pride and come towards you and apologize? Can they express how they feel? Can they offer you something that you're going to feel is good enough? So this is again, so there, or again, Gemini, this could be you, like I keep saying. So I feel like you can be really confused about the relationship and lie awake at night stressed over it. And again, really feel that there's chemistry. I feel like actually that's both of you. But I believe because your person, or again, I believe because of you, Gemini, because I really, again, I'm sticking to the fact that I really think that it's you, like, didn't know what you wanted. And because you didn't know what you wanted, you're really conflicted about whether or not you have what it takes to be with this person. And that's because you didn't give them the time. So you don't really know who they are. You're kind of putting them a little bit on a pedestal. And on top of it, you didn't treat them well. And then there's this, you're realizing the importance of who they are in your life now. So that is what's, again, creating the turbulence and the uncomfortable, that uncomfortable like feeling that you're having is what is actually going to make you be bold and take action. That's really what I feel, which is how your reading started, which was be bold, take action. Last one, you are my true love, my heart and my soul. So I feel like, again, soulmate twin flame relationship, they know, you know, Gemini, both you and they know, because you're mirrors of each other all through this reading. But if you were the chaser, you're finally coming to realize, if you're the runner, rather, if you were the runner and you didn't know what you wanted, Gemini, you finally come to the realization of knowing that this is really what you want. And that, you know, because you've tried to walk away from it. But I feel like both you guys know, both you guys have mirrored it. It's just, you've ran from it, you didn't know, now you're embarrassed to come back and lay down your ego. Now you feel like your person's going to punish you. I feel like, again, you're basing a lot of what might happen on what did happen in the past and not really with your person. So let's just look, Gemini, really fast, and let's look to see what your person is going to do. I'm not going to pull a lot of cards. I'm going to pull like tops 3 cards to see how your person feels. I am not sure I can meet your expectations. So there's, again, this mirroring, mirroring all through this reading, which made it very difficult to say, is it you, Gemini, or is it your person? Because you're both doing it. You're both, again, I'm conflicted. I don't know if I have what it takes. And I don't know what it takes. Like, there's expectations, but with unconditional love, there is no ownership, there is no expectation. So you both are in this place of just delaying it. And guess what? When you both get tired and saying, I don't care what the expectation is anymore. It's like, I just need to do this. When you both get to that point, that's when you'll see that the relationship will work out. You're equally the issue at this point, Gemini, not just you. Because again, in the beginning, you didn't really know what you wanted, but now your person is actually like not really coming, knows that they would like to be with you, but again, doesn't really feel like you would want to be with them because of how you're acting. You're acting like you don't really know whether they'll be with you because of what you did in the past. So all through this reading, nothing but mirroring each other. Mirroring, mirroring, mirroring. So what else aside from that? Give us something else that's not mirroring, please. One-sided relationship. So again, I believe like your person's biggest fear is that it would go back to being that one-sided relationship where you didn't really show those feelings. So you're going to have to convince that person, Gemini, that it's not going to be a one-sided relationship. I think you kind of know that already. I want to see you. So again, I believe Gemini, your person does want to see you. There is love, but your person's afraid because you haven't shown them your best self. You showed them a lot of mixed messages, but I believe that because there's so much unconditional love, there's such a deep connection that your person is not going to say where they want the relationship to go, what they believe the relationship is. They're just going to watch you and they're going to see how you react, how you respond, what you do. Because again, there's a sense of they don't want to say anything that you're going to take the wrong way because there is feelings there, but they also don't like the way that you've treated them in the past. And they're figuring that if you're coming back, that you're going to give more and that they're just going to give you that chance to show them. So my recommendation to you, Gemini, is if you want this relationship to work, you're going to come in and you're going to try and give it your 100%, because this person is not like has a lot of like issues about how this relationship started. Now, you can't go back in time, but you can make it better. And there is true love here. There is a connection here. So there is the power to win your person over. And what it looks like is you want to do that. Your person wants it too, but they're afraid. All right, I'm going to leave it right here for you, Gemini. If you resonated with this video, give me a like, comment the word healer in your comment bar, and subscribe to the channel. And you can win a free psychic reading with me, because when you do those 3 things, it's not only free, but it automatically enters you into winning a psychic reading. So you'll have to keep an eye out to see whether or not I wrote winner underneath your comment. And if I did, reach out to me again at pureenergyhealer70@gmail.com so we can schedule a good time for the both of us to be able to jump on to do a live stream to do your free psychic reading. All right, guys, until next time, be true to you. Bye-bye.